Good morning or afternoon. I'm here. I'm just doing a sound check. Give me a minute. Hmm. Oh, goody. You never know if that's going to work or not. Hi, Kelly. My sweet friend Kelly. Hold on, I need a bottle of water. I'll get parched. All right, let's get some stuff out of the way first. If you've not done this yet, exclamation point notify, no space here, it's all together. Okay, if you type that in the comments here on this live, you'll get an audible notification when I go live, because most of the times it's a surprise. I don't plan stuff. I'm retired. I don't have to plan stuff. Hi, Lisa, sweetheart, thanks for being here. There's my girl Charlene. Hi, honey. Okay, so we talked about that. I'm going to put the printable collection that we're working with in the comments. This is, you guys, what we're going to do today is one of my favorite things to do. I've made hundreds of these, I'll bet. I used to make them, oh really? I used to make them all the time for my son's classroom when he was little. Huh. Okay, well, it's not as easy as I thought it was going to be. Hold on. We'll just wait for people to pop in. I have to go grab a link from my store. I thought I already did that, but I didn't. Okay. Have you guys checked out the blue stripes yet? The grain sack French stripe collection? Ugh, it's so gorgeous. Can't wait to do something with it. I think Robin's more excited about it than I am. She's so cute. All right, just give me a second. We're getting... Hi, Sherry. I'm getting there. I'm so close. Okay, there. I just put a link to the collection that I'm going to that I'm going to use in this live. Okay, and it's the Valentine's Day collection that I did. If you already bought this collection, this little grouping was not in your purchase, but I added it and sent an email to everyone that had previously bought the collection. So go back and check in your emails. You can search the Ooh La La shop and there's downloads. It downloads the whole collection again. These will be at the very end and they're named something different. So you can go in there and just download this particular page. Okay? Hi, Kathy. Thanks for being here, doll. So here we go. Every year, almost every holiday, I call them candy cozies because I don't know what else to call them. I didn't make any at Christmas, which kind of surprised me. I don't know how I missed that. But they're super cute to make for Valentine's Day or Halloween or Easter, or we'll make some for Easter too. I'll design some pages for Easter. So you're going to start with a piece of paper. You're going to print yourself out pieces of paper. Both of these papers are from the Valentine's kit, okay, our collection, both of these. This is cut down. You want to cut your paper down to 6.5 by 4.5, okay? Write that down. Hi, Shannon. Write that down because that's super important. And I end up putting them together and then I forget what the measurements are. So someplace write that down, and then I have to take one apart to measure it. Okay, so it's 6.5 by 4.5. And here I've taken the kindest regards stamp, and I've just stamped some pretty script across here, okay? This one doesn't need anything on it because it's so gorgeous, so we're just going to cut this, okay? The very first thing I do with paper that has a white border on it, and you'll think to yourself, oh, I'll remember not to use that white border. You won't remember. You'll do something and you'll turn it over and you'll have a white border. So my suggestion is just save yourself the aggravation and always remove these white borders before you start anything. Okay, I can't even tell you the amount of times I've done it. I'm sure you guys have done it too. So just remove them, and that way you can't make that mistake. Okay. There we go. Now we don't have to even worry about that. All right, so now I've got this beautiful piece of paper, and I'm going to mark it 6.5 by 4.5. I'll just copy what I got going here. Little tick mark, little tick mark. Let's see what that gives me. I'd really rather have this, so let's do it on this side. Is that what I want? Yeah, I want that. I want that. Okay, cut this out. Then we're going to have two. Thank you for sprinkling, Kelly. Oh, I know, isn't that gorgeous? It's just so gorgeous. Yeah, beautiful. I'd forgotten how pretty it was. You know, when I create a collection, I print every single paper out before I put it up, because you just never know. You never know what something's going to look like once it's printed. So I always print everything out. So I got a whole stack of papers that I'll probably never use, but you know, it's part of the deal. Okay, so now we've got two. Oh, look, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So now we've got our two 4.5 by 6.5 sheets of paper. The first thing you're going to do is you need your paper glue so it doesn't wrinkle, okay? And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to glue like this. Overlap just the tiniest amount, okay? Not a lot, just the tiniest amount. And you're going to glue so you have like little rolls, okay? So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to put just a little line of glue there. And then I'll bring this around. Don't put any hard folds in this, okay? Keep this just a round tube as best you can. It's a little uneven on that end, but I'm gonna fix that. Okay, so there's one. And here's two. So you're folding it the long way. You're making yourself a tube, okay? Do the same thing here. And you don't want to waste a lot, okay? Just, you know, like, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch, whatever it takes to get it to stick is how much. It's kind of hard to show you how much I got overlaid there, but okay, now I've got these, okay? I've got 2 of these. Now, put your seam in the middle, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to glue it down this way, like that. But this one you're not going to glue down this way. You're going to glue this one down opposite, and it makes a triangle, which is so darling. You throw little Hershey's Kisses or whatever the candy of the season is inside there. You gussy up the outside. Cute. as a dang button. So you can make them uber simple, or you can go to town. You want to guess what I do? I go to town. I go to town on these. So I'm going to do some lace. I'm going to do one of these, and I'm going to show you how you can keep it really simple, because I used to make, like, I don't know, 20 of these for my kids' class. So they were very simple, because I knew the kids were going to tear into them, you know. So when I would make a lot of them, I'd make them like this. I'd do the one end, okay. Give that a second to dry. And then I would take decorative scissors. Instead of like putting lace in there or whatever, I would take decorative scissors. I mean, you could just leave it plain because the kids are going to tear into it anyway. It doesn't really matter. I would take some decorative scissors, like a little wave like this or something, and I would just cut, and then that would give me like a cute little wave, okay? If you're making it for children, they don't care about that. All they want is the candy that's inside, okay? So you don't really have to worry about that. So I'm going to see if I can... I really want that to be on the inside because it'll look more finished. And the nice thing about fabric tack is you have a little bit of wiggle room. See that? A little bit of wiggle room there. So I was able to open that up. So I'm going, I don't know if I like this lace. I don't know if it's foofy enough. I've got dozens of spools of lace over here, you guys. But most of it is not ruffled, which this looks better with ruffled lace. This is a big ruffled piece of lace, but how amazing would that look coming from the end of that? So we're using this one. Okay. I'm going to measure this. I'm going to overcut it so I have, you know, room to play with. So here and then about here, okay? And with this, I don't cut straight because that looks weird. Cut it at an angle like this. It'll look better on your finished project, okay? So now I'm going to put my glue. I'm going to start with this side because I know, here's what I mean by angled. See, it looks better going out like that. I'm going to start with this side. I'm going to glue it in. And then when I get to this side, I can see where I need to cut it. And again, cut it on an angle so it kind of flares out and looks nice. See, and then it flares and it looks nice. That's got to come a little bit shorter. So again, you can make this as easy or as hard as you want to. So there, I've got that like that. Now I'm going to close that. Okay, I'm just gonna, that needs to go in a little bit or it's gonna show. Okay, that just needed to, so on the other side, I'm gonna put a line of glue. I'm a hot mess. Hold on. I thought I could just kind of let that kind of hang out over there. I can't. I have to actually glue it in. It's going to be worth it, you guys, I promise. So what I saw was this needed to go down a little bit because the binding was showing when I closed it. So this needs to just be tucked down a little bit further than what I had it. Hi, Elizabeth, my friend Elizabeth. How are you? Perfect for teachers. Charlene, these are the cutest thing for your book club, for your card group. I mean, they could not be cuter. And there's a way to, at the end, I'll show you, there's a way to open them where you don't have to ruin them. You don't have to just, you know, rip them open. You can, I'm going to a Valentine's Day party, and I'm going to take the hostess one of these, my BFF. She won't let me in if I don't have one. She's used to getting one every year. So now I'm just closing up this end, okay? And look at the impact of that beautiful ivory lace against that red paper. Pull that out a little bit. And you see what I meant about making that flare out. So, I mean, just in itself right there, yummy. That's beautiful. Okay, so we've got that. Now let's talk about this. These are printed on cardstock, okay? And I'm going to take this one, I think. And I'm going to take this that says love on it. This is where it gets fun. Okay, so I've got those two pieces. And these are little tickets. Let's use, we'll use this strip here. Those are tickets. Okay, so you've got those three. Again, if you've already bought, Regine, hi, sweetheart. Oh, a gift card. What a great idea. And it's big enough for a gift card. Charlene, that's why you get the big money, my friend. It's good to see you too, Regine. Yes, I haven't been live in a while. Because I'm busy. I'm busy creating stuff. And I like that other part better. I'm really into the paper printable thing, and that's kind of consuming me right now. I go in phases, you know how it goes. Okay, so we're going to have to cut these out. This is going to be actually like a tab. Anyway, what I was saying is if you bought this collection, the St. Valentine collection, this was not in the collection to begin with. I added this a couple of days ago. So look in your email, search the Ooh La La shop, and you'll see that this collection was sent to you again. It sends you the whole collection. Look at the end of the downloads, and you'll see that this is named something different. Just download this. You don't have to download the whole collection again. Okay, that's a cool thing about the service that I use is I'm able to add things because I'll make a collection and then I'll have like an epiphany like, oh, I should have done this. And I'm able to add stuff to it. So that's really, really cool. So let's cut out these, but save yourself some time. Okay, here's our little hack, all right? Because this is going to fold in half. So point, put it right on the line of your paper trimmer, okay? Get your bone folder very gently. You're just going to put a little groove right there, and then you're going to fold, okay? So now you've got a double-sided tab, and you're going to cut that out. And now you're only cutting once. Instead of cutting around the whole thing, you're cutting both sides out at once. Turn your paper, not your scissors. It's an easier way to get a good result. So who's ready for Iron Orchid? Huh? Look, I'm going to tell you guys right up front. I'm going to sell out. Probably in the first 2 days. And I'm not ordering more because I can't sit on all that product. It's killing me financially. So I've got a lot, but I have a lot of customers. So shop early. So it's Thursday, February 5th at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 Eastern, the oolalashop.com. I'll be giving you directions as we get closer. So now that's all cut out. See, we cut it out and we didn't have to do it all the way around. We just cut 1/2 of it and it's all done. Okay. We got the ink. Yeah. Oh, you guys, it's so, so good. I'm going to say one thing. Should I say it? I am going to say it. Back to their roots. That's all I'm going to say. Back to the iron orchid roots. I'm thrilled with it. I'm thrilled. I've already made stuff. I'm really happy. Really happy. Okay, so ink, you know, ink is our friend. We like to ink everything. So we've got that done. We're going to cut this out. This is fixing to get so cute, you guys. Is the inlay the only limited item? Yes. Inlays are always limited. So now I've got my little, I'm not going to ink this just yet because I know I'm going to adjust it. I know I'm going to be cutting it stuff. Do I want this one? Hold on. Do I want this one? I'm trying to see. I think we'll go with the angel. Okay, so these are little, they're like little tickets. They're made to look like tickets. Why is everything so blurry? There, that's better. Okay. And I am going to cut it right here like this. And then I'm going to do this. I'll probably end up cutting, I'm leaving some white there because you know I'm going to use those scissors that make things look like a postage stamp. So I've got that there. Now it's connected here as well. I'm going to cut right up the middle of that. And then I'm going to get those scissors out. I call them stamp scissors. I don't know what they're called in real life. See? They kind of look like a stamp. All right? And then I'm going to take and I'm going to make a cool edge on that so it looks like a torn ticket. One. There we go. We're going to ink that all the way around. I got a little weird piece right here that I'm not crazy about, so I'm going to get that little snip. All right, so now we've got those 4 little pieces that we need. Now, hi Edie. Thanks for being here. We've got these 4 little pieces. We've got our beautiful candy cozy, and we've done the one end with the lace already. Now we're going to do the other end, and the other end is where all the where all the trickery comes in, because now you've got to make all this stuff be part of this. So you're not going to fold it like this because then it would be flat. It's folded this way. This end is going to be folded the other way, so you get this shape. You get this triangle, which is the cutest thing I've ever seen in my whole life. Thank you, whoever that was. I started making these, I don't know, 25 years ago when my kid was young, like 5, and I make them for every holiday. I made them for I made them at Thanksgiving, and I made them out of really just very subtle, and I put all of our initials on it, and I just set it on our plates, like as a place name, what do you call it? Nameplate? Name card. So this was like right on the plate, J for Jeremy. Yeah, yeah, I didn't put anything in them. I could have, but I did not. Okay, so now this is where you don't want to get a hard fold. You can get a hard fold right at the very tip here. It's almost impossible not to get one, but try not to get a hard fold like here on any of these parts, okay? So this is going to go like this. We need to cut another piece of lace. I'm going to use this end as a guide, because that's smart, because I know that this is exactly the length that I need. I'm going to go a little bit long here, so here's my good scissors, my fabric scissors. A little bit long in case I need to adjust. I've got all my little accoutrements right there. Hi, Donna. Hi, Eva. It has been a while, sweetheart. I'm glad that you're back, and I'm glad to be back. I haven't been here in a while. Where else are we at? Okay, so now we have to decide where all of these are going to go. And I'm going to show you one that I've already done, and then you'll get where I'm going. Okay, so here's one that's already finished, and it's the cutest thing you've ever seen in your whole life. I challenge you to tell me that's not adorable. Okay, it's adorable. You put candy in there. We've got all these little sweet things here, a little bit of pearls. It's got the little tab on it. I mean, it's just, can I get a how cute? Yeah. Anna, hi, sweetheart. You've never seen these before, Kelly? I think these have been around for probably, I don't know, a couple hundred years, I'm guessing. You know, they're not, it's not rocket science, but they could not be cuter. I absolutely love them. I've made hundreds of them over the decades. Yeah, I just absolutely love them. So let's get going, okay? Thank you for sprinkling, Anna. I appreciate that. Hi, Eva. Thank you, Elizabeth. Okay, thank you for the affirmation, you guys. All right, so let's put this one together, and I'll show you how I did that. Here's my little piece of lace. Now, this is a little bit, I either couldn't figure out how to get the lace on the inside, or I'd already committed to the tab. I can't remember which one it was, but I think at the end of the day, I figured this was the only way I could do this, was to put the lace on the outside, because the tab is not big enough to go over the lace, and so the lace goes on last. Okay, so what am I going to close this now? Let me think. Oh, I know what I could do. See how the little tab shows there? I remember thinking afterwards that I could have put the tab, which I'm going to do this time. I can put the tab on the inside, and then only the front part will show and the back won't show, just the lace will show. So, okay. All right. I'm just reminding myself of what I did and how I did it. Kelly, you've lived a sheltered life. I'm going to guess that's not true. Okay, so let's see which side of this we like best. And I don't know if you can tell, but look, they stand up. They're so stinking cute. So if that's going like that, then this is our front, okay? So now I have to decide which side I like best. Do I like this side best? Or do, I already know I like that side best because it's got all that kind of, look, there's little little heart balloons on there. Can you see them? Ugh. I didn't even see that. And then these are going to be tucked in here. And then we have our, oh yeah. Yeah. So you want to get your middle-ish, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue here, okay? I'm going to put glue here. Actually, I'm going to put glue on the whole thing. Just like this, okay? Just like that. I've got glue on the whole thing. I already know where my fold is, and I already know that this is the front, okay? So I'm going to fold it so I can kind of see where the middle is, and I'm going to just commit. I can kind of commit to the inside first, and then come around, kind of do it like that so you can see that you're right in the middle. Okay, that's good. You're not gluing that shut yet. So now we've got our tab on. And I already, already know that I've made a mistake. There's all these things that you don't know you should have done it until you. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going back in, and because you have a little wiggle room with the, I'm going back in and I'm just kind of giving myself some room to tuck those little things in, because that's what has to happen. Those have to get tucked in. So now this, can it go on the inside? Ugh, maybe it can. It can go on the inside, and then look how nice it's going to look on the back. Ah, you won't have like this. I mean, it looks fine, but it's a little bit messy. Hello. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to glue this to the inside back, will be the easiest way to do it. So I'm going to start at one end, and remember you're going to leave, you don't want to cut straight, you want to cut this way, okay? So I'm going to start at this side of the, and it's hard to work in because there's like this little tiny opening that you have to work in, but it's totally worth it. Should I put candies in this one? I better. Okay, so there, I put 5 little Hershey's Kisses in there. You could put as many as you wanted. It would hold more. And remember, we had to go down a little bit so the binding of this wouldn't show when we folded it closed. Okay, so that's good. Oh, I love these so much. That's good. Now I got to cut here. Remember, I want to go on an angle. Perfect. All right, put a little bit of glue there. Okay, so now we've got our laces in place. And then we'll close it, okay? Then we'll put the, look how pretty. Isn't that pretty? I gotta trim that, that's a little too, yeah. Okay, so now we're going to, I'm gonna go on this side because it'll be easier to put the glue on the side without the lace. So now I'm just gonna put a little line of glue in there. And I'm gonna hold it closed. Kelly, I, I, I had to like portion out some and put them out in my workspace so I didn't eat them all. I'm on a candy binge right now. Ugh. It's winter. In the winter, I just want to eat. I just want to be in pajamas and eat. It's a vicious cycle. Kind of like a bear. Well, bears don't eat in the winter though, do they? All right, I'm going to make this not quite so pointed. There we go. Okay, so that's closed. Those little candies are in there. All right. I gotta hold it for a minute more. Kelly, you're gonna need to make this out of like oh, that tickles me. Out of 12 by 12 scrapbook paper. It's gonna be like this big. Oh my God, girl, that's so funny. I'm crying. Okay, so there. If you wanted to leave it like that, cute as a stinking button, okay? You could just leave it like that and you could just go. Or you could do what I said. You could just, you know, decorate the edges and be gone. Now, because this is how I work, I've forgotten to do things that I should have done before I glued everything down. But if you've watched me before, you know that that's my MO. I always forget my ink. We should have inked all this before we glued it down. But as with most things, there's more than one way to skin a cat. So I'm going to cut myself a little piece of paper to use as a, kind of like a mask. There's my little piece of paper. It's easier if you do it before you fold. So before you put this all together, you'd want to ink your edges, okay? But you can do it after the fact. I don't really, well, I don't know that it would be terrible if I got ink on the lace. It might be pretty. I'm going to hold it down like this and try to just get it on the paper. If I get any on the lace, I don't think it's the end of the world. And to be perfectly honest with you, I don't think that the ink shows up on this paper all that well. So I'm not going to, I kind of go, this is not folded, but I ink just on that little kind of soft fold, just because I think, you can see it better on here, just because I think it gives it like a little bit of dimension and it looks kind of cool. We're going to make another one. If you guys want to, if you want to stick around and watch me struggle some more. It just gives it dimension and looks cool. Okay. The important thing is, though, we inked these things. Okay. So I'm going to take this little ticket and I'm going to tuck it here like that. And then I'm going to take this other little ticket and I'm going to tuck it down like this. See there? And then I'm going to take this little love banner and I'm going to tuck it. We're going to cut it down, though. It needs to be cut down. I'm going to tuck it underneath here and it's going to kind of come out like that. And that's where you kind of adjust these things. Okay, like I'd make that come down a little bit more there and like that. So cute. And then we'll put pearls on it, little bows, and yeah. Hi, Diane. 12 by 12. Kelly, I'm gonna laugh about that all day. That kills me. Okay, I wanted that to be darker. So let's see how far in we have to trim this. I think this needs to go into right about there. So I'm going to trim that. Now, you know that that has to be rounded, right? So I get out my little mini rounder. There's a piece of paper in there. I didn't round all that well. Kelly, did you find one of these? They're hard to find. I found one at, I want to say Michael's. I mean, they're hard to find online. Like, they're not on Amazon. I think I sent you a link to a place that had them. Ah. I got a bad snip there, you guys. Try to clean it up. Okay. Rounded edges. So then I'm going to ink, ink, ink. Okay. Then we're going to take, and we've decided this is going to go, put a little bit of glue back here. That's going to tuck up behind there. Yep, yep. Now you could tuck it like this. You could make it go that way and have this card come on top, but I don't like it. I'm going to do it so that little love tab goes over everything, because I don't want to lose the, it's got a beautiful L swirl on the bottom, and I don't want to lose that. So that's going to go that way. So now these are attached thusly, okay? Super cute. Now we're going to take our little, you don't really have to do this, but because it's not going to show, but I always think things are going to show on the back. They don't. But you don't want like a big streak of white peeking out. So then this is going to tuck right into there. Make this come down a little bit more. So adorable. Let's get some bows out. And what I remembered was that bow takes up some space too, so you want to be aware of that. So I could put the bow this way, I could put the bow this way. I think on this one we might put it this way. I did it this way on this one, but you could do it any way you wanted to, or you could do it this way. Let's do it this way. Or if I pull that out further, I can do it the way I really want to do it. That's why you really don't want to commit to anything until you see what, some of that shows, but that's okay because this is going to cover that. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back of this. Tuck that right there. Isn't that just darling? So cute. I love little bits. Hi, Glitzy Grandma. How are you? Thanks for joining us. All right. So we've got that part done with the lace. And let's get some pearls. Pearls make everything better. How long have we been on? We got time to do another one. You guys want to do another one? I'm going to get 2 pearls out here. I might do more. I might do 3 on the end of that tag. It's not like I don't have enough. I have pearls that'll last me for the rest of my life. Hi, Carol. It is cute, huh, Regine? Yeah, it's just so stinking cute. Now, I use this glitter glue to put these pearls on. I find the glitter glue holds quicker than the than the 3-in-1, than the Beacon. The Beacon has some open time, which is good, for when you're having to, you know, kind of slide these tickets in and around. Look how cute. And then I thought maybe I might put, I don't know if these are, wait a minute, I got smaller ones. I like groups of 3. These are super teeny tiny. This I've just put 1 there, which is cute, but I've got room here. I think I could take and do like a little curve of, I'm just doing it. Now to get them up there. Sometimes I take them and like squish them on my finger. Because these small ones are even too small for the darn, what do you call them? Tweezers. So cute. All right, just kind of give them a little, look how cute. Is that the sweetest? It's done. That's it. It's got little candies in it. How cute is that? And it sits up, because it could sit up like that on your table or wherever you put it. You could put these, I mean, if you made like a bunch of them and kept it kind of simple, you could put them in a little bowl, you know, let people grab their own. Okay, so thank you, Eva. Thanks, Edie. Pretty sweet, huh, Charlene? All right, should we make the other one? I mean, it's all cut out. It's all ready to go. You know what? Maybe we'll make the other one a little more simple without the lace, and I'll show you how to make it with the decorative scissors. Why don't we do that? Does that sound like a plan? I'll leave these here so we can look at them. Let's do that, okay? You guys got time? I like the little three pearl situation I got going here. I like that a lot. So what other little accoutrements do I have? I have this and this. Oh, that's going to be pretty. Let me find my other. All right, I need. Hi, Kim. Yes, please make another. Welcome, Kim. I think this might be Kim's first time on one of my lives. So, look, it's right in front of me. But look how pretty that's going to be with that. This one's going to be like super soft. Yeah. Okay, so I do have to move those a little bit, you guys, because I need a little bit of working room here. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to cut this out. We're going to do the little, here, I'm going to do that so I can move these back and you can still see them, but I can have a little bit of room to work because I got to do a little bit of, you know, actual work, not just decorating. Do some prep. Okay, so remember our little trick for scoring. You can take your cutting board or your trimmer and you can take a bone folder, or you can take the back even of a steak knife, not a steak knife, like a butter knife, but the back, the smooth side, and you want to put from tip to tip, okay? And what I'm looking at right now is which way this is going to fold. Those roses are going to fold that way, so I want it to fold that way. Okay, so you just line up that tip with the line and that tip with that line, and then gently drag your bone folder across that. It's gentle. You have to push down hard. And then you get a perfect fold. Okay, so there, that's folded. I hope it's perfect, because I'm going to start cutting it out. I don't think it's perfect. Hold on. It's not even close to perfect. What have I done? I'm going to cut this. I'm going to cut this out like this. Oh, thank you, Kim. Thank you very much. You've done some beautiful things with them. I'm going to cut this out this way because I don't think I got a perfect fold, and this is the only one I have, and I want to be able to complete that second one. I don't think I got a good fold. If I had a good fold, you'd only have to go around one side of this card, and it would cut, you know, all of it out. Unless you get a bad fold, and then you got to do it this way. So again, Kim, I think you might fall into this category. If I've sent you this collection, the Valentine's collection, before today, this grouping was not in your collection. Check your email. I sent just this sheet, okay? Search the Ooh La La shop, and these are the little tabs and little things that we're using to do this, okay? And it'll be there. It will send you the entire collection again. Look at the very end of the downloads, and you can download just this page, okay? If you buy it today or moving forward, this is already included. Sometimes I get an epiphany after I've listed a collection, and I thought, oh, I want to add something to that, and I'm able to do that. And then I can just send my platform that I pay for, just sends everybody an email. Yeah, look how off I was on that. What a dummy. Okay, so now I gotta fold this. Well, not a dummy. I shouldn't be so hard on myself. Good Lord, Victoria. You got to fold wrong. Okay, so I'm just going to make this fold better. There we go. And then I can come in and I can, where there's white, I can take that off. And the white isn't really that big of a deal because you're going to ink it. Okay, there we go. And what else do we have? We have Forever. We'll cut that out. This is going to be pretty because it's going to be really soft. I'm excited about this one. Well, I'm excited about all of them, but whatever one I'm currently working on is the one I'm most excited about. Thank you very much, Barbara. I sure have fun making them. I'm working on something new right now, you guys. I don't know if you saw somebody, and this is, I mean, this has been done before. I've done it before, but there's so many things to do that you forget about them, you know? And I saw Lynn. Where's Lynn? Hi, Lynn. I didn't see you pop in, doll. Okay, so what was I saying? Oh, I was talking about printing on old book pages. I'm obsessed, okay? And now what I'm doing is I'm working, I haven't perfected it yet, but I'm going to do a whole collection of already printed on book things, okay? I'm going to do a whole collection of that, but I'm working on it. I'm tweaking it to get it right, okay? This one I did a big, huge on a dictionary page. I just absolutely love it. So that's something that's got my heart racing. Yes, paper makes my heart race. Paper is my first love. I love paper. Oh, we got a lemon folio coming, and we've got a beautiful spring journal coming. Oh, wait till you see it. Yeah. I don't just sit and eat bonbons all day, you guys. I'm working. Okay. So now we've got our ticket. We've got our little, what do you call that? Tab. And we've got that. And we've got this that we've already done. Okay, so I'm going to even it up here because it's crooked. You can't wait. I can't wait to get it done. In fact, I was a little late getting here because I was in on my computer, and I mean the time just, I'll look up and I've been there for 3 hours and it feels like I've been there for 10 minutes. So we're not going to do any lace on this one, okay? I'm going to show you how you can get a beautiful result with scissors, with decorative scissors, okay? So let's always make sure that your seam is in the middle, okay? And I'm gonna glue one end. Oh, have you, Barbara? Nice. Barbara, are you part of the shareable group? When the live is over, I'll put a link there. I can't remember if I've seen you in there or not. There's almost 1,000 people in there now. We have a printable sharing group where people share their work, and it's just so fun to see what everybody comes up with. I mean, stuff that I would never think of in a million years, you know? And that's what's so cool about it, is everybody puts their own spin on it. So you glue it one way. You don't glue this the same way or you'll just have a flat. You glue this the opposite way, and that's what gives you that fun triangle shape, okay? So I'm going to, should I put candy in this one too? Why not? So now I'm going to glue this one this way. And then we're going to make the ends pretty with decorative scissors. In case you don't have lace or you don't want to do lace, because just cutting the ends with decorative scissors makes this a quicker process. And if you're going to make a bunch of them, you know, do it assembly line, you know, make all your little tubes first, and then, you know, do all your inking first. Do, you know, make an assembly line because it'll go a lot quicker. Let's get a little closer here for this scissor work. What you want to do when you're using the decorative scissors, you want to make sure that these are dry because it'll gum up your... And I just stamped this lighter paper with kindest regards in Vintage Photo. All right, so I've got a couple of options here. I have a real roughly look. I kind of like this one. I'm kind of partial to this. This is kind of foofy. And then I've got like a real wavy. Let's do the foofy one. So I'm going to just, I don't want to cut in too deep because I don't want to get past the glue, right? So I'm cutting just on the edge. Line up that blade. And now you've got, look how cute. And when you ink that, it's really going to stand out, okay? So that's adorable. It's got that darling little little decorative edge on it. And you could see if you're going to gift these, how much quicker that's going to be. Okay, look. Adorable. Absolutely adorable. Do both sides, and that really makes that decorative edge pop. Look how cute that is. Focus. Isn't that cute? Oh, it's better without my hand there. Okay, let's do this end because this end's dry enough to do. I'm using these. Super cute. Go ahead and ink it. I've already made a mistake. You know what? No, I haven't. Not on this one. You got to really think through before you glue these ends, you guys, especially if you're doing lace. If you're doing stuff like this, you got to really think it through. This, not so much, because this, we're lucky because we're not doing any lace. The tab, oh, look at those colors together. The tab can go on the front and the back. Okay, so we got lucky. I got a little bit of white on here that I don't want to. Thank you, Kim. Yeah, they make beautiful little gifts, and as you can see, you can spend a lot of time on them, or you can spend just a little bit of time on them. You know, cut yourself out a bunch of 6.5 by 4.5 sheets, roll them up into tubes, glue the ends, cut them with decorative scissors. You don't even have to do that, but you can see how quick that is. You know, hit it with some ink to get it to stand out. Throw some little tags and doodads on there. Cute, cute, cute. Cute teacher gifts. Cute, you know, for your card group or your book group. I'm going to cut this with these kind of, I call them stamp scissors. From freezing Alabama. I'm sorry, Patricia. I'm not going to tell you how gorgeous it is here today. It's gorgeous. It's like 63. The sun's out. It's beautiful. But in August, it's 124. So it's a trade-off. It is a trade-off, that's for sure. I feel like I don't need all those. Okay, I'm going to use this one. I was getting too many little tickets there. Okay, so I'm going to use those two. I'm not going to use these. I'm going to use this forever. And this one we're going to keep kind of simple, okay, just to show you. On these little, it's not a hard fold, it's just kind of a gentle. I do a little, if it's going to show. On the red one, of course, it didn't show, but I just do a little bit of shadowing with some Tim Holtz vintage photo, and it just gives it some dimension. Looks cute. I love this gingham paper. This paper is in the Valentine set. You gotta have pink gingham for Valentine's, right? All right. Where are we at? This one is our little simple guy. Okay, so I always make sure that the seam is on the bottom. And then that makes this the side that I'm going to put things on. So we got to ink these. I guess I could leave it together and ink it. good. Let's ink our little stamps. Or tickets. They're tickets. They're not stamps, but they have like a stamped edge, like they've been torn, you know, where they were perforated. That's adorable. I mean, just that by itself is just so pretty. I love little bitty things, don't you? I think we're all the same. I think we all like the little itty bitty stuff. It's just cute. All right, I'm going to look in my bow. See if I have a different color bow. I don't think I do. I got excited. I saw red. I thought I had red. I don't even have white. I have this kind of. Does that work? Just for something a little different? Let's do that. Just for something a little different. Kind of a mauve. I'll put a link to these bows, you guys. When I'm done, I'll put all kinds of links in for you. Oh, wait, I got a darker pink. Nah. I buy these bows. You can get them all in one color, so I have a container of all pink, and then I usually buy the assorted that you can buy all black or all white, and I use them for everything. I mean, they're just such a perfect little bow to put on stuff. All right. Hi, Lynn. Where was I? We're putting this together. So that has candy in it. And it's also, where's my seam? Okay. So if I put this on here, ugh, look at those colors together, beautiful. So faded and pretty. But that goes on there. Maybe we'll switch this up. Maybe we'll put the large ticket coming out from the bottom this time. You kind of have to do this while you're planning. And then, oh, this is so beautiful. We'll do this one coming out this side, and then we'll do our forever kind of coming out from here. I'm going to put this behind. It's not going to be behind, but I'm just trying to get the lay of the land here. And then, do we like that color? I kind of do. It's very soft and muted, and I kind of like it. Okay. All right, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to put the small one at the top this time to kind of change it up a little. I'm going to snip that and corner around it. See if I can do it right this time. It's got to be in there just exactly to get that perfect little round on there. Look at that. This is one of my favorite little things. Look how tiny it is. It's like 1 by 1. Okay, so we got that. We got this. We know that we can attach it to the back. Okay, so let's attach it to the back. And that'll give us some wiggle room to place things on the front. So here we'll attach it to the back like that. Is that even? And then we can actually go like that because it's only glued right there. This is all open at the bottom because we have to tuck little things in. I mean, I just like it. That's sweet just like that. If you wanted to put like a name tag on it, you could go like that, you know, print out a name and put a name tag on it. But that's sweet just like that. The colors on this one are beautiful. Let's ink this. You guys, I'm going to take this and put it on my YouTube channel right away. I try to do that right away so they don't get lost, because you know Facebook makes them go away after a while. Although if you save them to your computer, you can download them as videos and then they'll stay forever. That's how I do my classes. And FYI, it's not too late to join the journal class. Who's in the journal class that's here? Kelly's in the journal class. I'm having a hard time. I'm trying to even these up. They're getting smaller and smaller and more uneven. Gosh darn it. I can't figure out. Oh my gosh. I always wonder why people live in places like that. I guess you live where you live, huh? And my husband told me, he said, you know what, some people like those 4 seasons, you know. He grew up in that kind of weather. He doesn't want to go back, but some people like the 4 seasons. We get like 2 seasons out here. Normal and hell hot. Those are our 2 seasons. Your journal's all done, Kelly? Cool. All right, so we decided we're going to put this one at the bottom. So that one's going to go there. This one's going to go at the top. Oh, look how sweet. This, we might have to cut down. Nah. I think I'm going to put this kind of behind this, but in front of that. Kind of like that. And then our little mauve bow we'll kind of put to an angle. Yeah, that works for me. All right, let's glue these guys on here. And I don't glue them all the way. I just glue them where they're tucking in behind here. They don't need to be glued all the way down. Because here's what I found is, like, if you're trying to glue them all the way down and then you're pressing, you're going to make a fold here that you don't want. So as long as they're attached here, it doesn't matter if that's like that. It doesn't matter to me. Worth every single penny. I'm glad that you thought so. Well, you got that whole journal kit. I don't even know what are there, 30 papers in there, and then all the instruction on how to do it, and how to do it without sewing anything, which to me, and without having a book. I mean, everything you need is in the paper. So there's still room for that. I'll put a link to that class as well when I'm done here. So now I'm going to take my little forever guy and tuck him in there. Probably should have cut some of that off, but I didn't. Oh, look how cute. Isn't that cute? It's going to come out a little bit. And then we've got our pretty kind of a mauve colored bow, which I think works because these colors are softer for whatever reason. That gingham piece of paper that comes in the Valentine's Day collection is kind of darker on one end and lighter on the other, which is nice. Like you can see this is darker than this, so it kind of was gradient, kind of faded, which I thought was pretty cool. So let's put this right here, or do we want to do it this way? Can't decide. I think I want to do it that way. So I'm going to hold that on there. Put a couple couple of pearls on here and we will be done. How sweet. I'll take pictures of these and put them up so you'll have them for reference. Where's my pearls? Here's my pearls. Get out my glitter glue with no glitter. Kelly, have you got any yet, Kelly? It's really good. Mainly for that nozzle. That nozzle is worth its weight in gold. And you could put, you know, you could put rhinestones here. Pearls to me seem like they're a little bit more romantic, like for this kind of paper. But if you're more of a crystal girl, do that. I'm going to put a little pearl right here. A little bit more glue than that. Oh, come on. There we go. Robin must be working. What's today? I don't know what today is. Is it a weekday? Is it a Sunday? What day is it? Seriously, I don't know what day it is. What day is it, you guys? I think it's, I really don't know. I think it's Sunday. Or maybe it's, no, it's Saturday. It's Saturday, that's right. Look how sweet. Oh, that was a good choice, that lighter. Yeah. Kind of mauve colored. So here's our 3. 2 we made together, and then one I made before, because it had been a while since I'd made them, so I didn't really remember. So I had to work out all the kinks by myself. It's Saturday. Thank you, Robin. Oh, thank you, Kim. Kim likes it. Okay, so that's it, you guys. I'm going to take some pictures. Let's do a couple of close-ups here. Let's see if I can get this thing to focus. This is the one that I did, okay, with the lace. This is the first one that we did with lace. We did like 3 little pearls there. Make sure you cut your lace to go out on an angle. You don't want your lace to be straight. It looks weird. Okay? So there's that. I really like this one. I like the way her red picks up the red of the, and this is like a big rose on here. So that's really pretty. And then this is the little guy that we just finished, which, maybe my favorite. No lace, but I love the little ruffly edge, and the ink makes that really stand out. And I love the colors on this. And then, of course, the back, you know. This is an easier one to make. If you don't do the lace, you can see it's way easier. And it's just as cute because it's got that little ruffly edge on it. So that's it, you guys. Those are my little candy cozies. We'll be doing some for Easter. And I can't believe that I didn't do any for Christmas. I don't know what happened. What happened? What happened to me at Christmas? Nothing. I just forgot, I guess. I don't know, but we'll do some for Easter because they're cute. Any holiday you can make them for. Easter's cute because you can make one up like that and put it like in an Easter basket with a little gift card or just, you know, little jelly beans or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, teacher gifts, like I said, for your gals at your card club or your book club or your mail person, if you have a lady mail person. Oh, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give one to my mailman to take home to his wife. That's what I'm going to do. Who else would, I mean, your hairdresser. Take one to your hairdresser. Just little ways to play with paper. I'm always looking for ways to play with paper, you guys. That's my goal in life, is to play with more paper. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to go in and figure this out so I can really make this sing. I can't wait to, I already know what I'm doing with that. We'll do it on camera. I'll do another live. I'm committing to another live. You love them? Thanks, Kelly. Thank you. Okay. some good pictures, and I'll put them up. And thanks for being here. I appreciate you guys. I haven't been here in a very long time. I think the last time I did a live, I had 6 people. At one point, I had 30 people. That's exciting for me. But you know what? I think you have to be super consistent to have a lot of people on your live. Kelly has, what do you have, like 400 people at a time on your live, Kelly? But you're very, very consistent. You're always on. And I'm not. I'm just not. I do what I want for the most part, you know. I don't do everything I want, but you know, I'm retired. This was supposed to be fun, and it turned into like a big job, and it's been wonderful. I just had a memory pop up. I've been doing this for 8 years. I've had a shop for 8 years. Woohoo, another life. Yeah, so I'm going to be, it's my birthday. It's my birthday month. I'm going to be 69 this month. And you know what? For the first time in my life, I feel my age. I don't feel 69, because what does 69 feel like? But I feel older. Let's put it that way. I definitely feel older. But it has a lot to do with all the chocolate I'm eating. I'm not going to lie. I got to stop. I'm going to stop today. Today's my last day for chocolate. And you're thinking, but Valentine's Day is coming. Believe me, I can get through Valentine's without any chocolate. Okay, that's it. I'm babbling, so that must mean I'm done. There's our little girls. We'll get little pictures of them. And thanks for being here. And I'll give you, oh, thanks, sweetie. I'll give you happy early birthday. Thank you very, oh, your birthday's on the 26th. Who? Elizabeth. Your birthday's on the 26th? Or no, your birthday's on the 6th. Oh, okay. All right. That's it. Thanks for being here. Love you bunches. The link to the collection, I'm going to put it in again here at the end, just so it's handy for you. There's the collection that I used today. Thank you, Cheryl. I'll put in the link for the bows. You can find them in my Amazon shop. Just go on my page and look at my Amazon shop. And like I said, if you bought that Valentine's kit already, check your email. I sent you a link with these items in it, okay? Because it wasn't in at first. These came to me in a dream. I thought, I want to make those things, but I need little tags for them. So check. I sent to everyone that had already bought the St. Valentine's. I sent this to you. Okay, so check. Look for the Ooh La La shop, and you'll find it. A link. Okay. All right. That's it. Love you bunches, guys. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you soon. Bye.